Greetings planty people and welcome back to my jungle. Please ignore the spectacles, I've got a bit of a poorly eye, so I thought I'd wear my blue lens filter glasses as a disguise. So today's video is a little bit of a late one. So it's all about plants that I've been loving in June. Even though it is now July, I'm still loving these plants. Lots and lots actually, so I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope all your plants are flourishing. Tell me about them, and if you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram so we can have a planty chat, they're all down below there. So let's get started. Okay, should we start with a bang? Okay, so the first one I got quite a while ago actually. It was a reverted cutting of a syngonium albo. Can't remember the full name, but if you type in syngonium albo, this is what will come up. As I said before, I got it as a reverted cutting. I don't know if you can see there. It just looked like a normal syngonium, so I wasn't too worried if the variegation wasn't going to come back. But I found with syngonium, if you do buy a reverted one, if you just give it lots of light, you get this. And I had lots of hope. I think, what was the newest leaf? Okay, so I started getting variegation here and I was like, oh, that's nice. I'm very excited for you. So I was like, yes, let's keep going with the light. That's the next one there. And then recently, look at that. So I give this one indirect bright light, so quite bright, on the cusp of being full sun, but not quite. She can handle it. She's got thicker leaves. Obviously, you don't want to give it full sun as it will just crisp up. And I've got a lovely new leaf coming here as well. As you can tell, she's begging for some kind of support. So at the moment, I've just got it on a little tiny broken stick that I found in my soil. So yeah, I did have another little baby one, but I gave it to my friend Alex. So I was like, I've already got this one, so here's a little treat. But I can't wait to get this one absolutely huge because you can grow them pretty massive. And I'm not sure if it's with this kind or a different one, but the leaf shape can change a little bit. So that's super exciting. I'm just beautiful. I've been on the hunt to find the Hoya version. So instead of the kind of white cream variegation, you get more of a kind of yellowy variegation. Basically the same like the Monstera Hoya variegated, like that, but with a syngonium. I've been staring at this plant so much because I've had it round by my bed, so when I wake up I'm like, oh, let's check the new syngonium leaf. So yeah, let me know if you've ever bought a reverted cutting of anything and how is it going for you, because I've had quite good luck. I think I did the same with what was it, Epipremnum variegata but reverted, and just give it light and it was fine. I think I added it to the pot behind there and it's doing great. So definitely looking to get reverted cuttings because they're a lot cheaper and it's like a bit of a surprise. Okay, so the next one I got, again, a cutting. Where did I get it from? I think it was from Etsy, and I believe it was from Slow Plants, SLOE. Check them out, they've got some good rare stuff and they do often some kind of reduced deals, so definitely check them out. And I got this philodendron, is it Hederaceum? Or just the Scandens variegated. And I got this cutting ages ago now and it was just sat in water for the longest time. And I kind of just forgot about it. Sometimes cuttings can just take forever. And if you just make sure it doesn't rot at the bottom, I sometimes dip them in candle wax just to make sure no moisture is getting into the wound at the bottom. Or you can just dry it out properly, but I'm lazy. And it was just sat there with my other propagations for ages. And then one day I was just like, maybe I should just have a little look. And it started to root. And then all of a sudden it went crazy. As soon as the roots got about that long, I was like, right, it's time for soil. And look, that you can see this was the leaf it came with. And you can tell it was getting a bit tired of just being in water. So I was a bit like, oh no. So I've got that lovely leaf there and there's another shoots coming out as well. So I can't wait for this one to just go crazy basically, because the normal non-variegated one grows like an absolute weed and I love it. So I'll have to find a nice bright spot to keep that variegation and and grow it like crazy. I'm thinking of doing a houseplant dupe video, so alternatives to more expensive plants that look very similar, if not identical, or just have a very similar vibe. So let me know if you want to see that, because I've got a few ideas. But I'm still on the hunt for a variegated Micans philodendron, because I love any velvety philodendron, and Micans is such an easy plant, and you can find it pretty much at any plant shop. So they're very easy to find, but the variegated ones are very expensive. And my friend Lisa, Happy Plant Collector, she has one, and from her Instagram I've seen that it's a very slow grower, so I'm a bit like, so if I see one for a reasonable price, for a reasonable price, might check it out. But that's one of those ones I need to do a lot more research on. So let me know if you've had any experience with one of those. I just love that the variegation on them is more of a pinky kind of orange, and it's just mwah, chef's kiss. I didn't cut my tinsel properly, so if that's annoying, soz. I need to trim that. Anyway, yes, this one, Begonia toaya, is an absolute beauty. Now, I can't remember who I got this from. It was in a little plant swap. It was either Sophie, Alina, or Lottie. Let me know, because I can't remember. Or it could have been someone else. Who knows? I do so many swaps, I get a bit lost at what's what. You may know, I am a big fan of Begonia. There's none in the background, I don't think. Oh no, there is a Begonia ferox. That's different though. Complete different kind of, this is more of a cane, that's more of a terrarium one, but I refuse to put her in a terrarium because she's too beautiful and I want to see her all the time. But this one, toaya, is very similar to the classic polka dot one, but it doesn't have as much of a red back to it. It has a slight blush to it, and the spots are smaller, and they're not silver like the normal polka dot maculata one is, so there's none of that blister variegation. It's just like it's been like painted on, and the leaves are obviously a bit more sleek, so it's a complete different look, and the flowers on these are insane. I just love when my plants flower. Like my Hoyas are flowering at the moment, and I'm just like, wow. And they smell pretty good too. My goal is to grow 2 begonias or more at the same time, having them flower at the same time, and try and cross-pollinate them, because I've discovered I really like pollinating things. There is an inflorescence there, can you see, from my, is that clarinervium? Clarinervium. And I need to collect the pollen because I forgot to last time. And my other one's not flowering at the same time, so I need to pop that in the freezer when she's ready. Anyway, we're talking about this. So this was just a rooted cutting. I was super excited because I just like to collect begonia because I love them so much, but I don't have a lot. There's nowhere near as much, well, there is loads of varieties, but they're more terrarium based. Whereas this, I can just have it on a nice bright shelf. But the only thing is with begonia, that touched me on the lip, that was weird. They're very thirsty, and I don't think people realise that. So people that struggle with it, they ask me on TikTok, help, the leaves are falling off. I'm like, trust me, if it's dry, give it a water. They're thirsty kirsties, and that's the very scientific term for it. Thirsty kirsty. So yeah, give it lots of bright light, water whenever it's dry. So this one definitely needs a water now. You'll find the ones that have the thicker leaves can handle being underwatered, as opposed to my Rex begonia, as soon as it's dry, it kind of like all crumples up and it's really annoying. But she's worth it. So, any of you botanist people, if you know anything about pollinating begonias or how to get them to flower, please let me know, because I really want to delve into those scientific roots. I don't have any scientific roots, I barely passed science. And of course, someone's doing work outside again. They always have to do it while I'm filming, it's really annoying. Obviously, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, next one I know for certain was from Lottie. And you may know that I still don't know a lot about Hoya. I'm learning, I promise. And she got me this lovely cutting of the fishtail one. Was it like Polynura or something like that? I can't remember. But I just love that it's like a mermaid. It's like a little mermaid's tail. And this one took forever to root. As soon as it started to root, I plopped it in soil. That's what Lottie said. You can literally just shove them in soil and they'll root eventually. But I don't know, I like to see that it's rooting first. I'm just scared they're gonna rot. and I keep this downstairs with all my cacti and succulents on a very bright windowsill. It's either west or east, the one where the sun sets and it's just like pure beams. They love it. And look, it's finally taking off, and this probably needs water actually. I'll get to it. And I'm so excited. I just want more Hoya. I've also got this one sat next to a black margin one, and I can't wait for that one. I think that one's my favourite one, I think altogether, to be honest, because I just love its little like darkness around the leaf. It's very gothy, it's very me, anything spooky. I'm just so excited for this one. I know it will take probably years to be able to flower, but start, and you gotta start somewhere. Oh my god, its little moustache. That's made my day. That's made my day. Okay, so the next one I have struggled with in the past. I believe this is my second or third try. And I think I showed you this a while ago because I got it from the Birmingham plant swap, and it was the last one, not the one before that. Philodendron Florida Ghost. And I have wanted one of these for the longest time because one, it has ghost in the name, so it's automatically spooky, and just the fact that it changes colour and it's so bright. And when they get bigger, they look like little people. I don't know how to describe it to you, or a hand almost. And this one got a bit battered when I took it back in my massive trolley of plants. I had to get it on the train as well, so I was trying to like organise my soily mess on the train, and people were just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? So but I don't care. I don't care. I had to do it. And it basically snapped off a new leaf that was coming. So I was like, right, I'll put it back there where it gets very bright sun in a box of other goodies that need to grow basically. And and also because it's summer as well, even though it doesn't feel like it at the moment. We had awful rain yesterday. It's very fast growing at the moment. Like, I think it's only been 2 weeks and it's given me this. And I'm going to show you in comparison my other one. So this one I got from Plants for All Seasons a while ago. It very nearly died, but I managed to revive it. I put it right under my grow light, and I kept a very beady eye on it. I think it was just really wet when I got it, and it had a bit of root rot. So I repotted it into a very chunky soil and gave it a bright light. Also, this is, oh, the price tag's still on it. I'm always like that. I always leave price tags on things. It's really annoying. Look at this pot. It's so whimsigoth. I couldn't not buy it, and I thought it looks really cool in here. Anyway, now I'm going to show you the difference of giving it light. So some people thought on TikTok that this was mint variegated one, but they're both the same. This one I just give a little less light, so this one sits there, so it still has the grow light above me, but this one has been sat in a box under full sun, so you can really tell the difference there. Eventually they'll harden off and go a bit green, eventually. But yeah, definitely have a play of giving them different types of light just to see what kind of effect you want. That's kind of what I do with my Begonia, no, Philodendron Brazil. I've given it much more light and it's gone a lot more like limey vibes, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's really interesting how you can change the colour and appearance of your plant just by giving it indirect or full sun. Look at that. Insanity. But yeah, obviously, look at that. It's looking a bit... So I can't wait for this to get much bigger so I can repot it again and make it look a bit prettier. Okay, last but not least, dee-dee! You probably saw this in the background in one of my other videos, but I got this week and a bit ago, and you obviously probably know if you're a plant person, this is the classic Alocasia fried egg, which I also call fried egg because it's easier to remember. And I kind of panic bought this one because my two other little baby ones rotted, even though they were in semi-hydro that I got from the swaps, like I said previously. I just really wanted it to work and it broke my heart because it's such a gorgeous, gorgeous plant and it's velvety. You know I love it when it's velvety. This is the reason why I haven't bought the variegated one yet, because if I struggle with the normal one, how am I going to cope when a variegated one doesn't make it? Because they're expensive. They're expensive. In this one, I chose this one specifically. I tried to put them all together, but that just fell down because it had a little shoot one there, There's another shoot there, another shoot there. So I've got like 4 plants in here. I do probably need to repot it into some better draining soil. It seems chunky, but it's that kind of chunky soil where it's mainly just coconut fibre, and that's not always the best. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. Oh, sorry, I'll put that down, it's really distracting. I'm gonna try and learn from my mistakes and not overwater it. I'm only watering this one when it's almost completely dry. And it's much better to underwater a plant than it is to overwater one. Remember that, guys. So I'm probably going to split this one up eventually, try and dig for some corms because I want backup, because I'm scared. I'm very, very scared. But yeah, I'm keeping a nice bright spot. The light shines right onto it, about that much of a distance, so it won't get sunburnt, don't worry. And yeah, it's doing okay so far. But the variegated one is gorgeous, so maybe in the future. We never know what the future holds. So I have one of these little tiny babies that I put in one of my plants and don't know where to put it. Put you in there, you live in soil, baby, now. And that concludes all the plants I've been absolutely loving in June, but still now. I'll never not love my plants, let's be honest, unless it really annoys me. Let me know what plants you've been loving recently or this past month. I would love some recommendations. Tell me, like the past few, oh, the sun's come out, that's nice. The past few videos, let me know if you've got any cool Hoya recommendations because I want to be a Hoya person. Yeah! I also like saying Hoya because it sounds very Dutch and I'm half Dutch, so Hoya! All my social medias are down below, and if you want a 10% off Grow Gang, one of these guys here, I will leave the link down below, so go check them out if you want to treat your plants. I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Tot ziens! Bit of Dutch for you there.